Hey guys.
Money.
Hey, how you doing? Good, good. Just wait for everyone to join in and we'll get started. How are you guys going with everything so far?
Yeah,
Mm,
great for me, man.
That's good.
Recording in progress.
Hey, hey. Hey guys, how you going?
Hey man,
How you doing?
good yourself?
Yeah, good, bro.
Just busy moving, man.
Oh yeah, you guys are moving.
Yeah, just
Weekend?
in the thick of it all.
Nice. There was someone else in the group that was moving this weekend too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good time to move just before spring.
yeah, for sure. Um, I think Ellison said she might not be able to make it today. So we'll just wait for a couple more people and then we'll get started.
sounds good.
Sweet. Okay. All right, let me just check who's on the call. Okay, so who's missing? Just one sec. So we're missing Jordan, Sarah, Ellison, and Alice. All good. We might get started then. You guys are just checking. You guys can all hear me all good. Can see my screen all good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool, cool. All right, let's get cracking then. A few of us are away today, so hopefully they'll catch up with the recordings. But thanks for everyone else that joined in today. Today is probably relatively going to be a little bit shorter than the other weeks. We are going over how to build your store and what elements you need to do to make a good product listing. So hopefully this will take like a good 45 to an hour. And as always, I'll have these calls recorded and the notes uploaded in Slack. All right. So I spoke to all you guys, I think, individually throughout the week, and you guys are all doing really good. Everyone's on like really good pace, really good track. I think there's one girl in the group that's a little bit behind because she had like weddings and stuff all this week. So other than that, like everyone else is at good pace. So I think by next week-ish, we should be able to launch ads, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But we'll see how we go this week. So I hope you guys are keeping up to date with your 12-week planner sheet as well. It is hard to kind of like keep up with it every day, but just make sure you are visiting it every other day if you do tend to miss a day or two here and there. Okay, so we'll get started. This week, we're going to be talking about building your store. So I'll just quickly cover the basics before I get into some of the bit more hardcore stuff, okay? So quickly, just to set up Shopify, you guys probably have already done this already. If you haven't, just listen in on this. So a few things you'll need to get started, just your email address. I recommend just using a separate email, not your personal. So create like another email address if you don't have one. Payment details for billing. So that's just like your payment card for like the Shopify bills and stuff. Business details, a few of you guys asked me about this. If you don't have a registered business, that's fine for now, especially if you're in Australia, that's fine. I believe, don't quote me on this, check with your accountant, but I'm pretty sure if you're doing below 70,000 in revenue, you don't have to be registered at that point. So you can still just run with your personal details for now. For those of you that are in the States and elsewhere, I'm not too sure. Just check with your local regulations and probably speak to an accountant in your local district. I'm pretty sure to begin though, you won't need like a business registered. Like I don't know anyone that has done that just to open up a Shopify. Now, how to import products on your store using Oberlo. That's very simple. So I'll just quickly run this through just in case anyone is having trouble with this. It's really simple. So I'll just open up a new. So you guys would have, once you sign up to your Shopify, you're gonna have like an apps column where you can download this thing called Oberlo. Once you do that, also get the Google Chrome extension. So I'll just download this toggles because that's gonna help you just import products way quicker. So if you're using Chrome, grab this. And once you have that, you should be able to come onto AliExpress on any listing here, and you should be able to see this button here, add to Oberlo. That's essentially all you have to do. You just click that and then it'll pop up and then it will import to your store and then you just rename it. Real simple. Get the app on your Shopify as well, on the apps column through Shopify. So that's that. If you guys have any trouble with that, just hit me up. But I think it's pretty straightforward. So I'll just move on. So we want to import our products using AliExpress onto our store. If you guys can't find an AliExpress listing for that potential product that you found, definitely go through those other apps that I told you, like Source Inbox, CJ Dropshipping, ShipBob, all those kind of things. If you get stuck with that, just reach out to me throughout the week. Now, the essentials for what you need in a store, like this is what you need to have your store ready for launch, okay? So firstly, you just need a homepage. It doesn't need to be like crazy. It just needs to cover the basics. I'll show you some examples after this. Your product page, which is the most important part actually out of all these, your privacy policy, your terms and conditions, and your shipping and returns info pages. So for those that don't have privacy policy, terms and conditions, and shipping and returns info, I'll give you guys a template you can use. Definitely just change it a bit though, because this is what I use on some of my stores, and yeah, you just don't want it to be the same. But you can keep it pretty simple for now. Like just make sure your shipping and returns info is accurate. So some people might have like, you know, shipping info that doesn't reflect the actual shipping details that your supplier will give you. So you just want to make sure that's all good. You also want an FAQ page or just a section on your product listing with FAQ. You want to contact us section, and later on you can install this app called Track My Orders, which is just the tab that appears on your website so people can go in and check their order status. That just helps a lot with like streamlining customer service and not being overwhelmed with like emails once you do scale up and get a lot of orders. Okay. And so, like I mentioned before, out of the bunch, the most important thing and the thing that I want you guys to spend your most time on is the product page itself. So this is the product description and the product listing page where most of the traffic is going to be directed to on the paid ad side of things. So yeah, most of your paid, like not all the time, but most of the time, the paid ad traffic will be directed straight to your product listing page opposed to like your home page or collection page and things like that. And reason being, it creates less steps for the potential customer to purchase. With collection pages and home pages, we do direct traffic to those sections more so with retargeting, not really for cold target traffic. Okay, and now the essentials of what you need in a product page, these are the main things that you need to cover to make sure your product page is all good, okay? Firstly, it needs to be congruent with your ad. So that means multiple things. For example, like if your ad is using certain colors and fonts and color schemes and that, and then you land on your website and it's completely different, that's not congruent from your ad to your website. A more obvious one can be like you're totally just promoting a different product on the ad, and then the website goes through to like a different listing of a different product altogether, or the name is different, or like just whatever the person saw on the ad is just different to where they have been directed through the website link on the ad. Now, for obvious reasons, you want to be congruent, but one of the main reasons why is actually it causes a cognitive dissonance with your audience. It's more of a subconscious thing, meaning like people will click on your ad thinking they're expecting something, and then if they find out it's something completely different to what they were expecting, they kind of just like scratch their heads and like wonder what the hell this is. And most of the time they'll just end up clicking off or something. Oh, so Allison is just joining in. Hey Allison, we're just getting started on the product and product listing and website building. So thanks for joining. So I'll just continue. The next thing that you want to include in your product listing is you want to convey a level of trustworthiness, as in, does your website look legit off bat? And a lot of the time, this is more subconscious than it is conscious. It really just, the look and feel kind of says it all. So trustworthiness also includes things like your guarantee badges, like your checkout methods. It could even include like customer reviews and all these things. And then some of the more obvious ones are like, is it over spammy? Like, do you go onto the website and all of a sudden it just looks like spam and like just doesn't look pleasant? That will kill your trustworthiness as well. Leading with that is the third thing. You want your website to be convenient for the user. And this mainly consists of two main parts. Firstly is your website load speed. And this is huge, guys, when it comes to e-commerce and like paid ads to, e-commerce websites. One of the biggest factors that deters people from checking out or like, going through your website is like, it's just not convenient for them. It loads too slow. Maybe it's clunky. Maybe there's just too much crap going on. And then the other side of that also, it's like, we want it to be usable for the viewer. Like, so usability, like UX is a huge thing. We just want it to be simple and clean and easy to navigate for the customer. Okay. So all these things, I'm going to show you guys examples in the next slides. Also, your product listing has to answer any possible objections or questions that the customer might have about your product or store. Okay, so when someone goes into your website, they're actually just looking to find all the details they're wanting to either make a decision about purchasing or not. And some of these questions or typical objections people have in their head is obviously, is this website legit? Is this seller legit? Is this product good quality? Is it what I want? Also, is it like what are the shipping terms? Like, how fast am I going to get this item? All those little questions that a potential customer might have. And a lot of these are answered in the FAQ, but we also do try scatter them around our website to kind of like repel any objections that potential customers might have, okay? And then the last point here is we want the product listing to be compelling enough for them to buy. Okay, and the compelling part comes from a combination of emotional compel and logical compel. Okay, emotional is quite simple. It's just things like when someone goes to your product listing, they see just like a really good image of that product and makes them want it. Like, it's like creates a real desire effect. Other emotional triggers are things like customer reviews, what other people have rated it and what other people have said. Logical is more things like value. Is this worth my price? Is this like a good deal that I'm getting? Does this product solve the pain or problem that I have? More like the logical brain side of things. So either or can work. We want to try combine both though in our listing, so we have like the most chance of converting that possible that potential customer at the end of the sales funnel. Okay, so some examples of this would be like limited offer or limited stock, amazing reviews on that product, or it just looks so good that they want it. Okay, a really good example of like how what a compelling listing, or I guess like it's not really in e-commerce, but I guess like if you take McDonald's for example, and you look at the advertisements they do for their Big Macs, like the commercials that you see for Big Macs on TV and billboards and all these kind of things, right? It never looks like the actual Big Mac that you actually buy when you go to Macca's, right? There's a clear, like, it looks perfect on the advertisement, but in real life, it doesn't look like that, right? Us as marketers, we want to kind of take the same approach, okay? So we want to flatter the customer as much as possible on our product listing with our product. So, flattering images, just really like do a good job of marketing the thing. Jordan's just coming in now as well. Okay, to move along. The other thing, guys, when it comes to paid traffic, okay, 80% of your paid traffic will come from mobile device. Okay, this is huge, guys, because a lot of people sit here and like build websites and they're doing it on their computer and stuff, and they don't even check what it looks like on a mobile view. When actual fact, 80% of your traffic comes from mobile. So we need to, from the get-go, build our site to optimize for mobile rather than desktop. Okay, and now with mobile devices with product listings, there's what we call before the fold and after the fold. Okay, before the fold is just simply when the screen loads onto your site and what you see before you scroll down. Okay, and these are typically just like your images of the product, the price of the product name, and things like your page website load speed and usability kind of factor into your before the fold as well. Now, after the fold is more things like the product descriptions, your product details, your reviews, like your shipping info and things like that. Okay, so that's after you scroll. Okay, so I'll give you guys some examples now of a product page and kind of break this down for you guys before the fold and after the fold. So this example here, they're a teeth whitening company. I think they're based in, I'm not sure, Canada maybe. Anyways, their website is called like trysnow.com. So you guys can check it out if you want. So this is just their product listing page for the top selling kit of theirs. So you have a look at before the fold. And let's break this down, what we can see. So this is the page that we land on when we click through to the ad. From the ad to the website, it goes straight to this product listing page. Straight away before the fold, they've utilized this top bar space here. They've put in a unique code here to drive a further call to action for that potential customer. So this creates high purchasing intent for that viewer to pull through and then decide to purchase. So it's a call to action that they use really well here. Another thing that not many e-com people do that these guys have done quite well is they've used an objection buster and then upselling them to a subscription straight off the bat. Okay, so we're going to get into lifetime value and things later down the line, but just for the sake of this, I'll just skim through it. So have a read of this, like it works, get a wider smile in as little as 9 minutes a day, join the confidence club. So this potentially answers some objections that customers might have, but it also creates them to it opens them up to, from the point of sale, sign up to a subscription rather than a one-time purchase. So we'll get into the bit more of that later. So slightly if you scroll down slightly more, you're going to see the reviews, the 5-star reviews with the amount of people that have reviewed this. If you guys are looking for this app, it's called Looks Reviews. Now, I do recommend Looks Reviews, but a step up from that is Trustpilot. Trustpilot is just way more official than Looks. So yeah, either or of those would be good for you guys. The next part here, they've got this value save fast action bonus here. So they've got a compare price and then your price, and this is a limited time only offer. So you're being encouraged to make a purchase like urgently. Okay, scroll down a bit more, and this is really, really cool. So they've included a headline at the top of their description, and the headline usually captures the big idea of your product that you're selling. So what is the big marketing idea? This usually will be congruent with whatever headline you run with on your advertising. So this can change after we split test like different ad copies on the ad side of things to see what line is actually the most engaging. This is really good. They've gone, hey, this whitening kit bundle is the #1 most wished gift of 2020. They've also got some social proof here going #1 recommended brand by Allure Magazine and Men's Health. This is really good. And then also, they've also clearly stated what is included when they make that purchase. So what's included in the kit, and they've just added bonuses as well to give that additional value for them to purchase. So the free gifts, if you buy this week or today, you're going to get a whitening toothpaste and charcoal floss additionally, and saving, the value price there. As I mentioned to you guys before, they've got this, which is really cool. At the point of sale, they're automatically trying to encourage the customer to sign up to a subscription rather than a one-time purchase. This is really big, guys. We'll get more into this a little bit later on, and definitely more in week 8 when we talk about utilizing our audience. Now, what do they do here that was so good. Essentially, all this crap is direct response copywriting foundations. Okay, so I want you guys to read a few books. One of them is called Scientific Advertising. It's a really short book, really easy to read. That will give you a lot of insight into the foundations of direct response copywriting. That combined with this other book called Cashvertising, a really good read. So I recommend you guys to read both those books. Now, this is what we call in digital marketing terms, buttering our funnel. Essentially, it's a slippery slope, and we want the customer from the point of seeing our ad to, at the end of the day, make a purchase, okay? So they go from seeing the ad to clicking into the website, to viewing our website, to adding it to cart, then to checking out and then making a purchase, okay? So we need to butter our funnel to make sure it's as smooth as possible for that customer to go from seeing the ad to purchase flawlessly, okay? That's the name of the game. Now, just some more examples of some good product listings, okay? One here called Articture. They're like a drop shipping furniture, like sort of home decor site. Really clean cut, really cool. You have a look at their before the fold, and they've utilized their space really well. Straight off the bat, they've got autumn sale that ends in a certain amount of hours, creating urgency. They've got a unique discount code here, which is driving an additional call to action, high intent for the content viewer. They've got the 5-star rated here, the name of the product, they got the price, very clear, and some nice images before the fold. Okay, this is all you need, really simple. You don't even need that. It's just like extra stuff, but like it does boost that direct response conversion. You have a look, you scroll down a little bit before the fold. They've actually hidden like all their little sections and different tabs. I do recommend that for website load speed reasons. You can simply install a Shopify add-on, like an app called, I think it's just called Product Tabs, and it's free, and that will create all these for you. Another example here, this store is called, I think, Sugar and Cotton. They're another general drop shipping store that is quite big in this industry. You have a look at their, so before the fold is the image, and here they've got their compare price, they've got a free shipping tag, they've got the add to cart button with some trust badges underneath. You get a free shipping, money back guarantee. They got all the details here. They're very clear with their expected shipping time. So this extremely high demand, expect 2 to 4 weeks for it to arrive. Like that's standard drop shipping stuff. This is a dead giveaway that it's a drop shipping store, but like most customers won't know that, but they will appreciate the fact they are being upfront about shipping delays. Satisfaction guarantee here, that's just additional guarantee, adding trustworthiness to their product listing, added with some icons for like, you know, free returns, shipping and all that kind of stuff. Really cool. And then also got like related items, which is the what I'll discuss later on. It's like their cross sales they're doing for their products. Now, let's have a look at this. These are some of the elements I want you guys to incorporate into your stores and your product listings, okay? Firstly, under your add to cart or buy it now button, I really encourage you guys to add some checkout badges to create trust. This is a really good example. You guys can either custom create them or just use an app. There's a Shopify app called like Trust Badges or something. There's heaps of different ones you can use, and some of them are free. Just see what suits your store theme and design though, okay? So that's really good. Another one is like this is Blue Crate. They're very clear about their shipping. So right under the add to cart button, they've got when can I expect my item, delivery time. They've got COVID-19 info, and they're clear about like the shipping times depending on the countries the orders are placed in. And again, here in Blue Crate, they've used product tabs to separate their description, product specs, and shipping info, just to break it up a bit and also help with the website load speed time. Okay, here, like I said to you guys before, the really good thing that Sugar and Cotton have done is they've added 100% satisfaction guarantee at the bottom of their product listing, and they've added additional trust badges at the end of their product listing also. Okay, I really recommend using something like this for your listings, okay? Now, great direct response tip here is actually the longer the guarantee, the less likely people are going to take it up. It's just a proven fact. So for me in my stores, I try offer longer guarantees than shorter ones. Most people would do 30-day, 60-day money back guarantee. I go even a step further. I go like 120 days, or even up to a year, like 12-month guarantee. Okay. And that's just, firstly, it creates more trust with that potential buyer. But secondly, they're actually less likely to take it up if it's way longer. Just a psychological thing. Okay, so yeah, just have a read of what I do. This is my particular one. So I just go like, hey, we have a lot of confidence in our products enough to offer you a 120-day money back guarantee, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, the essentials of a converting listing, like converting means just from going from a website viewer to a customer. Okay, so purchase conversion. So we need to optimize for load time, speed, and usability. So make sure there's nothing broken, there's nothing slow, anything like that. To check this, you can use the Google speed test link here. So you just go to developers.google.com/speed. Just check what your website is ranking at the moment. Chances are, if you haven't like used too many crazy like apps and like heaps of high quality images and GIFs and stuff, your website is going to load all fine. But if you do add all those like little things like high quality images and GIFs and heaps of apps and stuff like that, then I definitely recommend you guys to do that speed test before you go live, because the last thing we want to do is just launch ads and your website is just not that functional. Okay. Now you also want to have nice images that are compressed. Okay, so like I gave you guys that example before of McDonald's, we need to make it flattering. Okay, so Big Mac, you take the ad of a Big Mac versus the real life, like that's the kind of thing we want to do with our product listings. Now, to compress your images, use this app called SEO King. There's a free version of that. It's just a Shopify app, and that's going to compress all your website images by product listing. So you don't have to like compress each image one by one. Yeah, so SEO King is pretty handy to use. Also, we want trust. We want the converting listing has to be trustworthy. Okay, it needs to look legit. It needs trust badges. It needs payment methods. It needs guarantees. It needs reviews, and it needs to be non-spammy. A lot of these websites, you go on it and straight off the bat, there's all these freaking like pop-ups and like flash buttons and discounts and all this shit popping up. You don't want to do that crap, because firstly, it like affects your website load speed, but also like just imagine the end user going on that, like a brand new website they've never been on, and all of a sudden you're getting spammed with like newsletter messages and discounts and all this crap. Like it's just not that fun. So like don't do that. To add the trust badges and things like that, like I mentioned, try use an app called like Free Trust Badges app on Shopify. Okay. And as I mentioned to you guys, we need to be congruent. So whatever you promote on the ad needs to be the same on the landing page, needs to be the same on the cart page, checkout page, purchase page. So on the ad, don't use like a different like product, or like don't use different colors and fonts and stuff to what the people land on when they go to your website. Same as like the product name, description, offer even. So if you're promoting on the ad 50% off, but then they land on the product listing, it's actually only 20% off, there is an incongruency in your funnel. Okay, so we want to be congruent all the way through. And the one thing we want to watch out for with congruency is the actual marketing messaging. Okay, with our messaging, we need to be congruent the whole way through. So on the ad side of things, if we're going like, the marketing angle is like, oh, I don't know. Shit, I can't think of an example. Like, let's say 18K gold or something, right? Okay, 18K gold, really, really cool friggin' whatever. And then you go on the product listing, and it's just like, it's actually 14K gold, and like the offer is not the same. And, it's just discrepancies between your ad and your product listing that really causes an issue with conversions. Okay, so try to avoid that. Okay. Also, we want to drive our product with a good offer. Actually, I won't say a good offer. I'm going to say a great offer. Okay. You need a great offer to drive your product. Okay. We need to try and make it an irresistible offer, something that they can't refuse. So a lot of e-com brands, especially drop shippers, they'll lead in with an offer such as like a free plus shipping offer. So what that means is the product is actually free, and then we just charge shipping to deliver that to the customer. And a lot of the time, these customers really eat those type of offers up. They really love that stuff, and it goes viral. Okay, free plus shipping offers aren't viable for certain products, like if it's not within your margin and stuff like that. But it is just a really good example of a, you know, irresistible offer. Another one could be like as simple as like 50% off today, buy one, get one free. And offers don't necessarily always have to be a sale either. It can be an offer to appeal to their like, I guess like the other parts of like, I guess like what does you can drive an offer to like say promote a charity cause or something. So you can say like the first 100 of these purchases, 10% of the proceeds will go towards a charity or something like that, and that could be intertwined in your offer as well. Okay, we want to incorporate urgency and scarcity in our offer as well. Okay, so urgency is just like our sale ends in 24 hours, don't miss out. Scarcity is more like we only have 5 of these left, so get it now before they sell out. Okay, we want to incorporate some sense of urgency and scarcity in our product listing and our offers. Sometimes it's not as obvious as other times, and you can do it in a way that it's subtle and it doesn't cheapen your brand as well. Okay. Now, like I mentioned, we also want to answer all objections around that product or our store. Okay, that includes objections regarding our product quality, our shipping, about us as a store and sellers as well. So like, just make sure everything is listed on there, so there's no chance of like customers still being confused about whatever product that they or store that they've visited. Okay. Now, reviews is also a big one, and it really helps with converting listings, okay? It creates social proof, but it also makes sure that when we import reviews, okay, a lot of people do this wrong because they'll import a bunch of reviews and then like write like fake reviews or like import reviews that are in different languages and stuff like that. Don't do that, because we don't want to ruin our product perception and our value. Just going back to the Big Mac idea thing, like we want to keep that perception as the Big Mac in the advertising, not the Big Mac in real life. So when you're importing reviews and stuff like that, try avoid importing products that are, reviews that are just like crappy photos of the product, and it just does not make the product look flattering, okay? Because that's actually going to do more harm than good. Okay, and I would definitely recommend to use Trustpilot more than Looks, but Looks is more than fine to use for now as well for reviews. You guys all with me at this point? Am I talking too fast?
No, you're good.
Okay, sweet.
You're good.
Okay, sweet. Okay, now product descriptions. Okay, this is essentially what we put like after the fold in our product listings. We want to do this. I think I did this with some of you guys in the calls like throughout the week, but essentially what we want to do with each product listing is to extract the customer benefits from the product's features. Okay, so say if we're selling like, I don't know, a Rolex watch, okay, and then a Rolex watch, what are the features of that? I don't know, it's white gold, it's freaking diamonds, blah, 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 like high quality material. And then what is that? How is that a benefit for the potential customer? Maybe it lasts a lifetime because it's high quality material. Maybe it makes you look rich, so on and so forth. So turn all your product features into benefits, okay? And once we have all those benefits extracted, we're actually going to stack the benefits up in our product listing. So it's almost like we're building value like one after one. Like it's almost like it's a sales pitch, okay? So it's like we stack on benefit after benefit after benefit, and then by the end of it, after reading that, the customer's like, fuck, this is like a really sick product that I need because it's going to do all these things for me. Okay, so try stack the kind of customer benefits in your product listing. I do this really simple by just having like dot points in the beginning. I'll just be like, oh, last you a lifetime, your friends will think you're cool, blah, blah, blah. Like I stack those benefits in dot points at the very top of my listing, okay? Now, under your customer benefits, you want to include now your product features and specifications. Your product features and specs aren't as important as your customer benefits. That's why we always put it after our customer benefits, okay? It's more secondary information, okay? The features and specs more appeals to the customer's like logic side rather than their emotional side. So just a quick example of specs and features is just like what's the dimension of that product in size, like how much does it weigh, also features like what material is it made out of, so on and so forth. Okay, all the little details. Now below that, our product features and specs, we want to include our shipping information. Now you can have a separate page for your shipping information, but on the product listing, try to include like a short blurb of your shipping policy or info, okay? This can usually be just done in one line or a couple of dot points. And then below the shipping info, you want to include reviews. So use Looks Reviews, Trustpilot, some of those apps. Make sure you don't need reviews. It's not a deal breaker, but it definitely helps. So if you're wondering why your product listing isn't converting and you don't have any reviews on your listing, that's probably one of the reasons why. Okay, so in direct response, we call this like we nudge the customer to buy. Okay, so in each stage of this product listing, we're kind of nudging them to make a purchase, to add it to cart and go into the next stage of the funnel. Okay. Now, since we've got all that stuff, now we know what is required to make a high converting listing. Let's just go over some industry standards and what you guys can go by to know whether your product listing or store is converting at a healthy level or not. Okay, so these store conversion rates are standards by percentage, broken down by industry. Now, take this with a grain of salt because this is really kind of like broad averages. It doesn't delve into like drop shipping or like, you know, country and things like that. This is just the overall average. Okay, so I'll just read this through quickly. Car parts and accessories, you're typically converting at 1.55%. Cosmetics, you're typically converting at like 2.98%. Beauty products, 2.16%. Skincare, 2.5%. Electronics and computers, including like mobile accessories and tech accessories and gadgets, 1.6%. Because that's sometimes those tech accessories can be high ticket. I think that's bringing down that average. Apparel and accessories, 1.7. I would definitely say higher there than that. Men's clothing is 2.38%. Women's clothing, 1.28%. Kids and baby clothing, 1.23%. Gifts convert pretty high at 2.79%. Health and beauty items at 2.58%, home and garden at 1.86%. Jewelry usually converts at 1.63%, definitely higher if your jewelry products are lower ticket though. Pet supplies convert at 1.75. Sports and outdoor stores, websites and things like that usually convert at 1.96. Baby and kids accessories, toys convert at 1.7, and all ours convert at around 2.19. Now, if your purchase conversion rate is between 2 or 3%, we're in good range. Okay, so if we're converting at 2 to 3%, we're more or less fine. Okay, obviously aim higher for lower ticket items. So if you're selling a product that's like 10 or 20 bucks, you should definitely be converting at 5-10% opposed to 2 or 3%. Just because the nature of the product, it's just more like a no-brainer purchase for most people, impulse buy for most people. Now, if you've done this right, you'll be converting at 5 to 10% purchase conversion rate if you get everything right. Okay. Now, your add to cart rate, you'll usually have an add to cart rate from the product viewer to add to cart at 10% or above, or 5% and above for higher ticket items if the products are quite expensive. Okay, and if you're using a dynamic checkout button on your Shopify site, these stats might alter because that dynamic checkout button skips the add to cart and goes straight to the checkout page. Now, how to calculate your purchase conversion rate or your add to cart rate? It's quite simple. You just get the total amount of purchases divided by the total amount of people that have viewed your website page. So for example, I sold 2 necklaces and then I had 100 people view that product listing. My conversion rate is 2%. Okay. So total amount of web visitors divided by total amount of purchases divided by total amount of web visitors times 100 is your conversion rate. Okay. Cool. Now, how do we optimize for average order value? So in abbreviation, we call it AOV in e-commerce. So the average order value is just essentially just what's the value of each customer on average. We want to increase it to be above whatever the sales product or that product, the sales price of that product is. Okay. So for example, 1 in 5 people that buy my hair care product might buy a comb. So that boosts my average order value per customer to be higher because, you know, that average of 1 in 5 adding an upsell, you know, changes my average order value across, you know, 5, 10, 20 customers. Okay. So we will always want to optimize our website to increase our order value, average order value per transaction. We do this by offering bundles, by offering cross sells, by offering upsells, and with enticing offers. Okay. So let's get into some examples of how to do this. To increase average order value with bundles, I use an app called like either Selly or Candy Cart or Quantity Breaks. And essentially it depends what product you're selling. Some products, it doesn't make sense to do quantity breaks. But if you're selling, I don't know, like laundry detergent, like it makes sense for them to buy multiple and get a discount of that, right? So for those type of products, we introduce quantity breaks, which is just this thing here. You buy one at a certain price, buy two at a certain price, so on and so forth. So that encourages our customer to spend more per transaction. The other way we do this is by creating a bundle. This is just an example of one of my stores. I've done like a BFF bundle for our phone case. So I just said buy 2 and you get $15 off. I found that the dollar value works better than percentage value when it comes to bundles. So try using a dollar value opposed to like a percentage value discount. Okay, and this app, if you're wondering, is just Selly. I think Candy Cart might do the same thing, but I'm using Selly. Okay, so this is an example of bundles and quantity breaks. The next way we increase average order value is by implementing cross sells. You guys would have seen something similar to this, like all over Amazon and eBay and stuff like that. Essentially, we're recommending customers other products to complement that product they're checking out. Okay, cross sells. So this is High Smile. They go, customers who bought this item also bought this and this, you know. And then this is High Smile. They go, oh wait, sorry. Yeah, this is Snow and this is High Smile. High Smile, they've done, people also love these types of products. And this is just at the bottom of your product listing. They've got recommendations for other products. You can also introduce cross sells on the add to cart page, depending on your store design and things like that. To use cross sells, there's different apps we can use. I think Selly does have a cross sell app feature as well. So the same app as the bundle does this as well. There's another one called Frequently Bought Together app, which is just same as this. So introducing cross sells is an effective way to increase average order value as well. Another way we increase our average order value is by introducing upsells to our products. Now, there's many ways we can introduce upsells. It can be done on the cart page, which is like once you add it to cart, the page that pops up there. We can do it there, or we can do a post-purchase upsell, which is an upsell we do after they make a purchase. Okay. Out of the two, I recommend using post-purchase upsells rather than pre-purchase upsells. Reason being, I've found that this is worth testing for you guys, but for me personally, I found that pre-purchase upsells for some reason decreased my website conversion rate. Maybe they just felt it was too spammy. I don't know what it was, but I found that the pre-sale upsells just didn't work as well for me. It depends on your niche, your website, things like that. I know a lot of people do it well. For me, I just haven't had as much success with pre-purchase as I do with post-purchase. So if you are going to use post-purchase upsells, I recommend using an app called Zipify OCU. OCU stands for One Click Upsell. Really good app. It essentially just looks like this. After you place the order, this page pops up like on the thank you page, and it goes, wait, add this to your order now and get $10 off. This is secret deal, one-time only offer. If you add it now, you get $10 off. Don't miss out. This offer expires in a few minutes. And these type of offers work really well because the best time that it's proven for upsells to work on customers is one, after they've directly made a purchase, like straight after they've made a purchase, or straight after they've received their product, are the two best opportunities for us to introduce upsells. Okay, so keeping that in mind, we want to try and milk the customer as soon as they purchase to try bring their average order value up by introducing one-time only offers. That's like, hey, we're getting your parcel together, but while we get it together, you can add this to your cart now and get a huge $10 off, and we'll add it. We'll give it to you for with free shipping. And if once you click out of this page, this offer expires, so you never get this offer again. And those type of messagings works quite well on post-purchase upsells. The other thing with post-purchase upsells, I recommend for you guys to stack it up, like as in not just run multiple post-purchase upsells. So for me, my standard is I do 3 post-purchase upsells per product. The first product that I upsell is the same product at a discount. That is just proven to work the best. So offer the same thing that they've just purchased at a different offer as the first upsell. The second upsell should be your best-selling product, or like your second best-selling product on that store. Okay. And then the third one should be a new release. Okay. So this is just an example of what I've done. Post-purchase upsell, same thing again, $10 off. And then the second upsell or the downsell, I've put like one of our best-selling items on the store. Okay. Now, lifetime value. I briefly touched on this at the start of the presentation with that example of the snow teeth whitening guys. But essentially, the name of the game is we want to prolong the lifetime value of each customer. And this is really what's going to, drive the dividends in your business. Okay. So how do we increase the lifetime value of a customer? Things like subscriptions, like that example you guys saw before of snow teeth whitening. Using email flows. I recommend using, email flows, automation emails. So they are, you create like a series of emails to be triggered depending on what action the customer has taken. So for me, my email flows consist of abandoned cart emails. If they've added the product to cart, didn't end up purchasing and just went off the website, and we've captured their email, we put them into a flow to try bring them back to complete that purchase. And that flow of emails is typically 3 to 7 emails. It could be like, hey, did you forget your order? Can you come back and place it? We've saved your cart for you. And then later down the line, more aggressive messaging can be like, hey, this is your last chance to complete your order. Do it now and get an extra 10% off today only or something, So we want to try recuperate all those abandoned carts. The other email flow we implement is post-purchase emails. So once they've made a purchase, we usually put them into a sequence of emails to follow up within a few days. The first one can be like, hey, your order's on the way. The second one might be like, hey, your order's almost arriving. Have you checked out some of these other products to complement your product? Another one could be like, how are you getting along with your product? Would love to hear back some reviews. We'll delve into more the email flow stuff in week 8. We'll get knee deep into that stuff. Okay. Another way to increase lifetime value is just by doing email campaigns. And so email campaigns are just one-off email blasts. And I recommend using a website called Aweber to do email blasts opposed to Klaviyo. It's just a lot simpler, a lot easier to do. And I think just if you guys are starting out, it's probably the better way to do it than Klaviyo, just a lot easier. Another way to increase the lifetime value of each customer is by implementing paid retargeting to collections or repurchase. Okay, so paid retargeting is just essentially paid advertising to the pool of audience that has made a purchase. Okay, so we create a custom audience based on like people that have made a purchase through our website in the last 90 days, and we might promote a collection to those guys, or like we might promote a sale or something like that to those guys. Okay. We also want to increase the return customer rate of your store. So that just means how often does what percentage of your customers return to make a second or third or fourth purchase. Okay. All this stuff is going to be covered way more in week 8, but just to touch on that for now, that's lifetime value. Now, we've touched on all that. So let's just discuss the types of stores that we can run with for our for this week. So I'll just show you guys some examples. Okay, so there's three kind of key or different types of stores we can run. We can do a general store. General store, more or less, like just think of your like big retailer like Walmart or Kmart, like that's a general store. Or like on a smaller level, it could be like that gift shop that you see at the mall. That is an idea of like what a general store would look like. Okay, so here's some examples. Okay, so again, guys, optimize for mobile view. I'm just showing you this on desktop for the sake of this presentation. But this is a general store in the fact that they can sell different random products in different niches. So like that one is obviously different to like this one. Oh, sorry. Like it's a different niche to these people that would buy this product. And again, with these products, they're all like different niche products. So that's an example of a niche store, a general store. Let me show you one more. These guys do it really well. This is another kind of, I guess it's like more of a niche store in the middle of a general store, but like these guys sell a lot of random different stuff. So it's not just straight up like bicycle accessories or like baby gifts or pet items. It's all like random stuff. So these are two examples of some general stores that have done really well. An example of a niche store would just be like something like my bike store or something like this. So yeah, this is just like a bicycle accessory store. All the products on here are just for bicycle accessories, I guess. So it's a clear niche, one clear niche, and a passionate one. Another example is this. They do like more like home decor stuff. So it's a bit more broader than my bike store because they have like bedding and they might have like, you know, wallpaper. They might have like kitchen stuff, but they've done it quite well in the fact that they've all themed it towards, you know, home decor kind of vibe. So that's another general store. I thought this was really cool. So these guys are a drop shipping store, but they have this section on there going like authenticity. So they've gone like, oh, we're the authentic sellers of these products. Make sure you're like, you're aware of like counterfeits and no, don't buy fakes and blah, blah, blah. I just thought it was really cool because like these guys are actually just straight up drop shipping, but they've positioned themselves to like look like a high-end fashion brand and gone like, hey, nah, we're the guys that are like the originals. So like whoever else is selling this shit isn't like official. I just thought it was kind of funny that they did that, but I think it's quite smart as well. So this is another example of a niche store. Now, one product stores is something like this. Essentially, it's a website that is focused on selling one product only. One product stores can typically command a higher ticket item to be sold on there, but not always the case, okay? And that's the reason for that is because there's just more room on that website to promote that item. So this is a really good example of a one product store. Essentially, the whole website is focused on this one kid's laptop stand thing. And they've done really well. You know, they've just gone really into this, done every sort of like covered every single objection customers might have about the product. They've done bundles for this product. Yeah, just really cool website. Really good example of a one product store. So you guys can check this out. You see they've got FAQs. So they do have other products on here, but it's definitely all related to this one stand that they have. So this is another good example of a single product store. Now, guys, in terms of like what we want to run with, it's really up to us. So I'm just going to kind of go through some pros and cons of each type of store that we can do. Before I do so, Mix, you said, do you think a general store performs better than a niche store? It's hard to say. A good general store would, but a bad one won't. You know, like it really just, I've seen some real terrible general stores out there, man. And you know, they probably don't convert at all. So it's just really kind of like a bit subjective, but let's just break down the pros and cons of each type of store quickly. So to give you guys a better kind of idea in terms of what you guys want to run with. So a general store, pros of that, obviously you can test a range of products, like broader range of different products. So on my general store, I sell like kitchen gadgets. I sell like bicycle I sell like a whole range of different niches in that store. So it gives us the ability to test different niche products on the one store. Cons of that, though, it might not be as congruent as a niche or a one product store. Like it might look a bit random with all these different products and stuff, but there are ways to make it congruent by, creating collections and categories and things like that. My opinion of a general store, it's easier to get started and it doesn't need to look perfect anyway. That's just my opinion. With a niche store, there's definitely the pros of that is like it's more congruent and more brandable. Like you can have like a tighter niche theme around your store and things like that. But then that also creates the downside of like it being a narrower audience. Okay. So if you are planning to go a niche store, I definitely recommend to tap into a broader niche, something like babies or pets or something that's just big in size. Because if you go too hardcore, like too dialed down, then chances are that niche isn't just going to be that big for you in terms of market size. So yeah, my opinion is just pick a passionate niche that's big in size if you want to go niche store. One product stores are good because it can command higher ticket price point. It can also look a lot more official, just a bit more jazzy and stuff like that. Except the downsides of a one product store is just it's harder to test other products and niches. So you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket with a one product store. And my opinion on a one product store is like only do it if you're sure about that product. Like if you're sure that's a winning product for you, do it. Okay. So some things to consider for the future, no matter what store you decide to run with, is like, what are your plans with it? Do you want to like at some point exit that store, like sell the store off and exit? Or do you want to, continue that on as like a testing ground, have that website running and automated? And like, yeah, it just really depends like where you want to take the store. And like at the end of the day, what you sell is way more important than who sells it. Okay. So like this stuff is all good, but like the more important stuff is like the products you're going to sell really. So yeah, that's just my thoughts and like, I guess my opinion on the different types of stores. If you guys are wondering, still not sure about what type of store to start with, I definitely recommend if you guys are just starting out, to probably not go the one product store route, predominantly because it's just so much effort upfront it's kind of like a risk with your effort. Like you don't know if that product is going to pop off for you at the end of the day. And if you spend all this effort to, make a really cool one product store and that product doesn't pop off, it's like very disheartening and discouraging, and it will slow down your momentum. So I don't recommend that. And unless you've already got a winning product and you're like keen as beans about it, then definitely go gangbusters on a one product store. But if you're still at the stage of like, you don't know exactly what niche or what products is going to work for you, I definitely recommend either a niche or a general store. You can kind of do a hybrid of a niche general store, which is like a bit more loose, but it's still somewhat themed around a niche. So I think a lot of you guys are kind of going that route. I tend to do that with a lot of my stores too. Seeing the high quality of images on this example sites, do you use a free image site for generic? Yes, I do. Great question. Let me send a bunch of links in the Slack chat. There are like definitely like websites I use to source free images. Off the top of my head, I think like Pixelbay is one. I have a list of a bunch though, so let me gather that list for you. Yeah, that's that. So any questions so far regarding like anything I've discussed, or regarding like the types of stores and things like that? No? Okay, no questions? Okay, cool. That's fine. We'll move along. So that's it for this week. So next week, what we're going to cover is we're going to go over how to create your ad, your creative. and we're going to discuss like what makes a winning advertising campaign, the different steps of the customer journey. We'll go through that in depth next week. Understanding direct response advertising versus brand value marketing. So we're just going to kind of like do a comparison of the both and see how we can utilize both. Also, we want to establish like what's your budget, because we need to know this before we start running paid ads. Okay, so that's something for you guys to take away and think about. I am going to break down like standards and like average, like expectations and things like that next week as well, in terms of ad spend and return and things like that. So what's your budget? What's your tolerance for break even point? Like, are you willing to spend $5,000 on ads and be all good to lose that? Or like, do you have a somewhat of a shorter tolerance with your ad spend? I recommend to think of this ahead of time, because it's very easy to kind of get carried away. Like you can definitely just blow your budget out the water like very easily. I learned this the hard way just by spending friggin' too much money on advertising. So if I had already established the budget for myself before doing this, at least I would have like a certain point where I can tell myself like, nah, this isn't working, or, you know, I need to switch it up or whatever. Okay, so that's something for you guys to consider. We're also going to discuss how to create your viral video ad next week, and then best practices for social media advertising on the different platforms and placements. Cool.
Great session, man. Really enjoyed it.
Cool, guys. Any questions? I feel like I kind of like sped through a lot of this stuff as well.
I have another question, but it's actually in relation to last week. When we find a product through AliExpress and we reach out to the supplier, could you just go through that again, just for somebody who's never done it before, just like a simple version?
Yep. So let's just go to AliExpress. Okay, firstly, you want to register for an account if you haven't already. So let me just sign in. Okay, now I found this fake Alex belt that I want to sell. Just as a side note, guys, don't sell that. It's a freaking lawsuit. Okay, so did I? Yeah, I think. Okay, what did I do? I clicked into the wrong thing. So let's just click on like these ugly sandals, and I want to sell these. So I go here on the top. That's the trading, the supplier. Okay, I'll give you guys a quick tip as well. When you hover over this, you're going to get the store trading name, and you're also going to get the manufacturer details of that product. If your store trading name and the manufacturer name are the same, chances are this supplier is also the manufacturer for that product. And in that case, you're going to get, more or less, you're going to get way better pricing than just someone that's the trading company. Okay. So what I want to do is I just want to contact them. I just want to go contact. Okay. And then there's like a messaging sort of like thing here. I'll go, hey, I want those shoes. I won't say that. I'll be like, hello, my name is blah, blah, blah. We run like multiple e-commerce stores. We're looking to sell this item. Do you have it in stock or something? Okay. So
Okay.
I would type that. Give them a couple of days to reply. If they don't reply, just try find their email and like WeChat details and stuff. It's usually in here somewhere. Okay. So.
Cool. And I have one more question, which comes into this, is if you found a supplier that you like multiple things on their store, do you think that it's worthwhile like to sell those, like to sell a couple of things, or is it better to go like find 6 different ones, because then you could, what do you think?
Yeah, if you feel like you found like other products on that same supplier store that are like popping off and that tick all the criteria, yeah, definitely go for it. And for me, I do definitely like to work with like just like a small selection of suppliers rather than like a new supplier for every product. It just helps a lot with supply chain and all that kind of stuff. So try building a relationship with the supplier that you're working with. Not all the time are you going to get lucky on your first go. Like some of these suppliers can be a bit trash. So definitely just don't stick to one, but also try develop that relationship if you feel like they're worthwhile.
Okay, cool.
You kind of know like by the way they reply and their willingness to cooperate with you and things like that.
Yeah, sweet. And do you think that like based on the conversation that you're having with them as well, like we should say like you obviously want to sell their products.
Yeah.
And then say like, is there any room to move on pricing? Is that how you would like negotiate upfront or wait to see whether it's been successful?
Yeah, usually we don't do that upfront until we've actually sold a couple units of that product, because firstly it saves us time, but also it gives us a better like position to negotiate. So once we sent them already like 2 or 3 orders, then we might be like, hey friend, like this product is like potentially going to pop off for us, like, but we just want more room to move with advertising and stuff. Would you guys be willing, because we think we can sell a lot of these? Okay,
sweet, gotcha.
Yeah,
thank you.
So I've just clicked into the business information, which can be found like through the store details. Just check if the, just like a lot of the time it's going to be in Chinese. Not all the time it's in Chinese though. You can also just check, like Google some of this stuff to see if they have like Alibaba listings or different listings elsewhere, or like websites and stuff. That's another way to like get in touch with them, or, find more suppliers and stuff as well.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And just on price point, like if you're looking for that 3 times markup compared to competitor sites and that sort of thing, and you can't find, or you're struggling to find the right price point, so just check other, CJ dropshipping and Sourcing Box and that sort of thing.
Yes. Don't be discouraged if you can't exactly match your competitor's price though, because that's only one consideration as well. I've had plenty of products that sell $10, $20 more than the competitor, like exact same product, because just like my cost of goods were higher, but I've managed to scale that up and still be successful with those types of products, Okay. And like sometimes I evaluate whether three times markup is possible or not. Like sometimes if you place that 3 times markup on your cost of goods, the retail price can seem a little bit unreasonable. So if I do feel like it's unreasonable price point, then I will kind of play around with that. I put it in range of anywhere between 2 to 3 times. Obviously on the 3 times is better, or higher is better, but there are products that I launch at like 2 or 2.5 times the markup, and those work well as well.
Yeah, sweet.
Sorry, you go. I just have one question on, if you found a product that you think will pop off and it's got like 10 different sizes, would you consider to sell all those sizes or just sample the market with one? Yeah. So it's tricky with fashion, because like with fashion, you probably need to sell all those sizes. But if it's say like a variant of the same product, like in 10 different colors or something, I would probably pick just the top 3 colors that I think is going to pop. Because you don't want to provide too much choice as well. It just creates a bit of like confusion with customers. But with the sizes, say if it's like something like this, like shoes or like clothes, then you probably do need to have like more options than less. And then also to include that sizing chart in your listing as well. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can you just touch again on the main points that we really need to touch on when we're contacting suppliers?
Oh, yeah. When you're contacting suppliers. So guys, actually, like when I first test the product, a lot of the time I won't even contact that supplier that I found. I'll just place an order with them once I sell it. Okay. So I'm not that strict in the beginning in terms of like what supplier I work with and stuff like that, as long as I found that like they're pretty well rated, they've got good reviews and things like that. and they're still active. So at that point, when I'm still first testing, like sometimes I do, especially if it's like high ticket, or if I feel like that price that they put on their listing isn't believable. Like sometimes maybe it's just too cheap and I'm like, I need to double check if that's accurate or not before I start selling it, right? For those reasons, I would contact them. But if it's like all kind of like usual stuff, like this listing, I don't see anything wrong with it or anything like outstanding. I'll have a look at the reviews and stuff, but given that it's all good, I'll just import this straight to my store. And then as I sell it, I'll just place the order with them and then probably communicate with them once I've already started selling that. In terms of what we look for in a good supplier listing though, is definitely just the reviews and the rating. Like make sure like if there's any 1-star reviews, like what are the reasons for that? Usually it's very obvious, like there'll be like multiple people saying like the product quality is crap, or like the shipping just took way too long, or blah, 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 blah. Have a look at that. And then, yeah, like most of the time, if it's all good, like just go ahead and import it to your store and then just run with it.
Yeah. Have you ever come across like decent reviews on AliExpress, but then seeing a similar product or the same product on, say, for example, Amazon, and just seeing a bunch of really low reviews?
Yep. Yeah, for sure. And like the same product can be different for different suppliers too. Like that Amazon listing, that product might not be the same as that AliExpress listing. Like could be a different manufacturer, even though it looks the same, the material could be different and things like that. So like I definitely check that product on AliExpress, but I also check like the Facebook comments. I see the competitor listings and kind of do that preliminary anyway, like before I choose that product.
Yeah. Yeah, got it.
Sorry, I'm a little bit new at this, so I just want to ask you, for example, if I sell this product on my website and they order it, the estimate delivery here, say 29th of September, is that the time that the customer is going to receive it?
Yes, that's right. That's right. So we always want to make sure we're using a good shipping method. This one is okay. Like, I definitely recommend not use this when you scale up, but during testing, I don't think it's that bad. It's like 1 month, so it's okay. But I would definitely prefer a shipping method that's like a bit faster. And, you know, I would even consider paying a little bit more to have faster shipping. This listing is not a good example because usually there's multiple shipping methods that they provide. You always want to choose one with tracking, like tick with tracking, and just have a look at the estimated delivery time. Usually I like to pick like SF or UN Express. Let me try find another listing that might be good.
And just to clarify, while you're doing that, with testing, do we necessarily need to go down with CJ Dropshipping or Sourcing Box and develop that relationship first, or just test it on Ali first?
Yeah, you just test it first, man. Like I mean, like people, like I think like the safe way is to go like do all that, but like it's also a waste of effort if that product never sells for you. Yeah. So just go ahead and like make sure it sells for you first. I kind of like, it's kind of going backwards, but I feel like that's just a better approach for me anyway. It's really up to you at the end of the day. Yeah, so these guys, they've got like different shipping methods. Like some of this stuff is just too expensive, so I won't be able to use that. I'll probably try, if I like this product, right, just copy and paste it, see if there's other suppliers that ship from USA. And typically there will be if that product's popping off. If there's not, then just go on CJ or like ShipBob or like Sourcing Box. Yeah, and if you like this product, Max, you want to import it to your store, just click this after you install the Google Chrome extension, and that should import to your store.
Sorry, and like say if they have 5 products in one, let's say 5 different colors, and I only want 2, so I would customize that on Shopify, right?
Yes, that's right. On Shopify or on Oberlo, when you import it, you'll go to the Oberlo backend and then you can select the SKUs that you want to import also. But if you end up just importing it all, you can delete it later in your Shopify anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And was it the company name that you're looking for a match to the AliExpress name?
Yes, so they usually have a trading name and then also like the manufacturer name.
Yeah.
And
Where does it usually show the manufacturer name?
it should usually show here like this
Okay.
around here. Or if it doesn't, I usually just Google it. But yeah, most of the time, like the actual manufacturer companies will give you way better prices than the trading companies.
For sure.
Trading companies are also good to work with in the fact that like most of them are tapped into this game. So they would be like procurement managers or, send you recommendations for other products and stuff as well.
Cool.
One question on, oh, actually, don't worry, I've answered it myself.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Guys, I really want you guys to start your store this week if you haven't already. By next Sunday, I want that product to be ready to make ads for. So like product listing completed, you've got your marketing angle completed, you've got your benefits and features all done, you got all your images together, you've sourced, you've got the supplier all figured out, the website's all good to go live by next Sunday. Because on Sunday, and some of you guys are going to jump the gun a little bit and start creatives already this week. But for those of you guys that haven't or aren't going to do that, make sure on Sunday you're ready to start making ads.
That's focused on one product to start off with.
Yeah, man. Just get one done and then just repeat that process.
And what's the best way for you like to recommend us keeping all of our notes, features and benefits ready to be published?
Sorry, what was the question, Max?
Like all the details, like prescriptions and what is it called?
Descriptions.
And all the description and the benefits and features and stuff that you want to put underneath the products. Do you
Yes.
put in a note ready to be published, or is
Yeah,
there-
I just do it in the Shopify like listing draft.
Oh, in the Shopify as well.
So also, like we use a sheet, like you can just use Google Sheet just to do all your like brainstorming. Like I don't do this myself, but like my product researcher, like when she picks a product, she's already done all this stuff as like background info. So that person that's doing the product listing can go in, gather all the information and just like clean it up.
Oh yeah, like a Google Sheet.
Yeah, so you can do something like this. Like I don't do this personally, but my product researcher does, and she finds this process pretty good.
Yeah, that's how I'm doing it. Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw, but Christian shared something really cool in the Slack as well. There's some tools you guys can use to speed up your copywriting process or your product descriptions and stuff. Check out copy.ai, and there's another one called like anyword.com. These are really good tools that you guys can use to help speed up that process of doing the product descriptions and things like that. Thanks for sending this through, sharing this with us, Christian. That's really cool.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. All right. What do you guys reckon?
Oh, wait, I have a question.
Yep.
Oops, sorry. Like about the product page on my website per se. There's like an add to cart. Sorry, there's no add to cart button. It just says buy now, and underneath there's like another buy now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So the one that's underneath, that's a dynamic one. So that's going to be different depending on like what that that viewer is viewing that website on. If you're on an iPhone, that will show as like Apple Pay. If you're on a like Android, it will show as like Google Pay. But yeah, if you're not on any of those devices, it'll just show like double. Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if it says add to cart or buy now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I probably would run with buy now. It's a bit more direct response-y, bit more embedded command.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Christian, I'll also jump on that call with you about Facebook ads, probably if we can do like tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I'm
I
down
think
for that.
I think you are definitely a bit ahead of everyone else, so which is good. But yeah,
Yeah, cool. I'm ready.
all right. Cool. Any other questions, guys?
No, all good.
Nice, nice. Definitely book in the one-on-one calls with me this week. If you guys are like stuck on anything or like confused about anything, definitely reach out to me sooner than later. Because things are moving quite fast, and by next Sunday, I expect us to be all live. Really, like all our websites should be live. So, yeah, if you guys are finding it a little bit difficult or like stuck with anything, definitely book in that call with me like earlier on. I think would be better.
Sounds good.
Sweet. I'll send the recording and the slide notes through in Slack.
Thanks, Wee.
Sweet. All right, guys. Good luck.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon.